Even though it's so hot, the tomatoes are still producing. Hey, welcome back to the kitchen. What I've got now is a whole bunch of tomatoes that I'm going to need to process. I would normally can them, but because the temperature is so hot, I'm going to preserve them and freeze them, and then I'm going to put them into the canners later on when it's a little bit cooler and we can use the heat in the house. So I'm going to bring you along to show you how I'm going to process these so that they can be frozen and then canned at a later date. Now after you've picked them, you want to make sure they're good and clean. I've already done that, so I'm going to go ahead and clean the sink up because I'm going to try something I saw on YouTube. Another gentleman was saying that you could take a tomato, you could core the tomatoes, and then on the bottom you turn around and put an X on the bottom of it, and then you can run it under hot water and it would peel off the skin. Now I've never done this, so I'm going to give it a shot. I have too many to hold them under the hot water, so I'm going to run a sink of hot water, and then I'm going to do as he said, put an X on the bottom and give this a shot and see. I've got a lot of cherry tomatoes, but I'm also going to do some big slicers. So here I'm going to core this one just like I did the cherry tomatoes. Take that hard core out, and then I'm going to cut on the bottom, make that X, and then I'm going to let them soak in this hot water in the sink and see how this works out. Okay, I've ran straight hot water. I've let them soak for a little bit. Now I'm going to give it a shot. They're not like, this is not looking like what it does when you blanch it. And as I'm pulling this, these are tough. And I'm actually pulling a lot of the skin off. This would even be easier to just peel them with a knife almost than how this is working out. So on a cherry tomato, I'm losing a lot of the meat from this. So I'm going to try this. I'll continue to do this on these few here, but I've got a whole lot of tomatoes to do. I've got 4 bowls, so this doesn't seem to be feasible for me. It's time consuming and I'm losing a lot of the meat. So if I had a small amount, just a few at a time, it might be worth it. And you could do this real easily, then put them in the freezer and let them set until you've got, and just keep collecting until you have what you need. Now this big slicer, let's see how it works. I'm gonna start from the bottom and I'm pulling. It's doing better than the cherry tomatoes, but it's still extremely time consuming. So I'm gonna finish these up and then I will show you another option. Like I said, if you've just got a few you want to do and you don't want to boil some water, this could be done. But in this situation for me, I would rather just go ahead and take the knife and just peel it off and just do it that way. This is just, it is tough. It's possible that my water out of my faucet's not hot enough. Now I wanted to avoid heating up the house. That's the reason why I'm not canning, but I am going to have to boil these. So if you want to do a quick blanch on them, bring a pot of water to a boil, and then as you can see, you just pick up the skin on the ends and it just pulls right off. Now another way you can do it is, it's very hot, so it's dangerous to do that. It can burn you really easy, is to just go ahead and dip those tomatoes out of here and put them in cold water and let them start cooling off so that it's easy to pull those skins without it burning your fingers. Now once they're cooled off, they're much easier to handle, and I'm just showing you how easy these are. You can just pick the end of the skin up and shake the tomato out, and the whole thing pretty much falls out. Much easier than trying to peel it with your fingernails or taking a paring knife and sitting there cutting the skin off of it. These just fall right off. And it leaves the tomato intact mostly. Now, if you've had to cut too deep, then, you know, it may have some issues. On these, you just kind of take the core off of them. I did not put the X at the bottom of it, and the skin will slip right off. This is much easier to do than the other way. Just go ahead and boil them. The cherry tomatoes do real good, and as you can see, this slicer tomato just slides off too. I also had some Romas in here. Same way, I just cored these. I did not put the X on them. I put them in boiling water. Afterwards, I threw them in cold water. Now, on that one episode, you see me, I haven't cooled them off yet, and I'm just pulling them off just to show you how easily they slip off. But if you go ahead and throw them in cold water, then the skin just slides off. So much easier. I was able to get 4 quart bags done, and this gives me enough. I'll throw them in the freezer, and then when I've got enough, then I will process them all together. Throw your skins to their animals or throw them in the compost pile. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and have a great day.